Well folks, today we're going to do something a little different. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well here. We're going to do a little motovlog review of something just a little bit different than what we normally do. How about a Tesla? Something a little bit different than the norm, for sure. Just something I've been considering getting as a car. But I don't know if you guys have seen them yet, but the little key fob that they give you is kind of interesting. It is designed as a little minty Tesla. It's pretty exciting. It's basically got a rubberized coating on the top there that you can see, and depending on where you tap it, it does different things. If you tap it on the trunk here, it'll pop the trunk. If you tap it twice on the front, it'll pop the hood, which again does not have a motor, but it's more storage. If you single click the roof of the car, it locks the car. If you double click, it unlocks the car. How very clever. So that's exciting. But what's more interesting is that as you walk up to it, you can see the little silver baby right here. As you walk up to it, the door handles open because it senses that I'm near with the key. So you don't actually have to press anything on it, you just keep the key with you. Notice the door handle. And out she comes. Pretty exciting. Notice the windows, the mirrors are also folded in. Kind of exciting. This has the little situation where it drops the windows as you pop the door. They drop down just that little bit. Very exciting. Interior's kind of strange. The mirror moved out. This is your pulling latch here. That's what you actually would use to close the door. Normal door latch like anything else would have. Normal goofy ass buttons and stuff here to press, and this flips the mirrors in. Very exciting. The other one's for adjustment, I assume. I haven't actually had to touch it. Build quality is a little odd. They're not quite up to normal manufacturer, I'd say, for a lot of this stuff. You know, things like this. You can take a peek at the quality, the seam here that you've got. Like this is not 7 Series BMW lineup to have a thing like that. It's just not. How about we show the rest of the stuff here before we even get in it? So again, I'll tap the front of this. Maybe, possibly. Aha! So that's cool. Impressive. Odd. There it is. There's the engine bay. Isn't that exciting? Got some storage for grease can, grease monkey garage thing. We've got as many as one reservoir for all of your fluids. And yeah, that's about it. Pretty exciting. What do these say over here? Oh, this is the how to disable it as a fireman, chop this line. Very exciting. Kind of makes sense, right? Don't want the firemen to kill themselves. This hood I'm not impressed with. As you put it down here, right? You have to push it, and it's kind of it's odd. It doesn't strike me as that fit and finish that you would once see on a 7 Series BMW. But it does hold bird shit just the same. Overall, the lines of the car are pretty cool. Very nice with the LEDs. Definitely a tight fit for the rims. These are the base wheel options for the car. I guess they're 19-inch wheels. It is definitely an interesting car. It's a good looking car, I think, overall. The fit and finish things I can kind of live with. We definitely get a little whistle right here in the section for the window seal. I'm not sure what's up with that. That might annoy me if I spent the kind of money on these cars. How about the boot? Would you like to see the boot? Tap the back twice and up she comes. Very exciting. Kind of an interesting little setup. Got enough room in here for lots of luggage. The travel adapters for being able to plug this puppy in certain other places. All the cords and widgets, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of exciting. It's got a little storage thing back here for, I don't know, you can put your weed in there, your boots maybe. Yeah, in general, lots of storage. It looks like the seats do flip down. I haven't tried, but I don't really care. It's pretty interesting. Another thing, how about we take a look at the weight of this girl? Oh, by the way, since I'm holding the key, and notice the things have retracted, the door handles, so just simply tap it, and out she comes. One of the things I noticed on this vehicle here is the weight. The weight of it. Let's see if we can get a good shot of that. Yeah, she's a big girl. That's officially a big girl. 5710 pounds. Yeah, big girl. But that's what you expect with batteries and whatnot. Anyway, let's hop in the cabin because it is windy and cold. Hopefully some of this audio has worked. All right. Oh, it's still navigating me. I'm gonna cancel the trip. So the Tesla has some odd abilities. Navigation kind of pops up on the left when it's not in use. It gives you a clock. This car's name is Tess. It's a Model 60. This is the lowest model of a Tesla with the addition of a leather interior, an upgraded interior, and the Autopilot. Autopilot is controlled by a little widget stick that's under your turn signal stalk. See if we can't get a good visual of that. See this puppy right here? Just beneath the normal signal is this thing, and it has turnable features, and as you turn them, it tells you different things on that display. That this is how many car lengths back you would like Autopilot to follow. This one goes up to 7. I found the owner had it kept on 1. I have to have it on 2, otherwise I get a little jumpy. It feels like I'm riding with my wife. You'll notice it has a small LCD display in the screen here in the center console. That's pretty rather impressive. It's not quite what you'd imagine. It's all touchscreen. You can put things away. It doesn't have to be there. You can have a full-scale map of it. It's pretty accurate. It's all powered by Google. There's certainly something to be cool about that. All touchscreen, so you can toggle your music, and it comes with streaming from Slacker Radio by default, and you know, it's pretty smooth. The interface doesn't suck. It's not terrible to use. It's certainly not the best thing in the world that I've ever used, but it's really not terrible. I don't have complaints over that. You know, just having that kind of Google Maps integrated with the car has been pretty fantastic, except for the construction that is here in Dallas, Texas. It's a little bit obnoxious with all of their roadways. Glove box as normal, except, you know, as we looked for any sort of handle, there was none was to be found, except for this little widget right here, and up she comes. So once it's open, it's not so bad. So you'll notice in the lower right here, it also shows that the car is currently off. To start the Tesla, it's as simple as pressing the brake, and up she boots. Everything's now live. All the sensors are active, everything's exciting. You'll notice it cleverly dinging at me because I don't have my seatbelt on yet. If I was driving, that would continue to ding until I plug the seatbelt in. And I do really appreciate that it starts dinging because, God forbid, I forget to put on my seatbelt, even though I've been doing it for a bazillion years. How about more on the navigation? The navigation's damn impressive. We're sitting up here in Denton, Texas right now. We could go to the Grease Monkey Garage simply by going to our history, tapping our Grease Monkey Garage, and now it's got a route. All Google Maps, all loaded, caching, all sorts of traffic data and all of that. It will reroute you and gets ready to go. I mean, it's fast. This is very nice. The way it functions is fantastic. It is the best GPS you could ever have. It's like having a cell phone, only on a just slightly smaller screen. Oh wait, I mean this has to be a 15-inch display. It's damn impressive to see in person. I don't think the videos ever give it quite enough justice, but it's definitely pretty cool. You got heated seats in it. I don't know why the passenger heated seat is on right now. Not really necessary. Controls. Controls is where basically all your settings are. It's where you can do all sorts of different things. You know, driving stuff. Oh, slip start. What is that? So I haven't used that. Used to help free vehicles stuck in snow, sand, or mud. Standard steering. I haven't done sport. I haven't played with any of that. All sorts of cool options that's just really impressive. It's definitely cool stuff. Lots of stuff for the displays. You can lock and unlock stuff. All the doors, dome lights. I guess it's got dome lights. How do we turn them on? Oh, yeah, it does. Look at that. Yeah, there's dome lights all over the place in here. I'm gonna turn them off though because we don't really need dome lights on. That's where your headlights are. You can do headlights. This does have auto high beams, which is kind of interesting, kind of annoying. I guess overall it's very helpful, but just strange to me. Yeah, it's got a power e-brake, by the way. So shifting this car, well, let's continue with this display first. It's definitely pretty interesting what you can do with this thing. It is definitely interesting. We definitely have lots of interesting things. There's apps for it, and it'll read your calendar. It'll do all sorts of things. It's not really all that amazing. You know, when it really comes down to it, I still don't know why my car would need my calendar, but I think that's coming with their Autopilot, so that it would know where you want to go, and you just hop in the car and tell it to drive you there, and it would know this by your calendar entries, which is pretty impressive. It's definitely cool. There's lots of cool features in this thing. I hope you guys can read some of this, but driver assistance stuff is kind of neat. Yeah, auto steer, the auto park. I did use the auto park. It's kind of impressive. Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. The auto collision avoidance assist is pretty awesome. That basically, so if you're not paying attention and there's some sort of accident in front of you, it very well may stop you. I definitely had it trigger a couple of times just going in actual traffic where people were driving like fools. But definitely exciting, definitely interesting, and it's going to be some cool stuff as it gets older and more mature. But for now, I think that's pretty it. Alright, so we're back to this. Let me stop this music because it's probably going to kill my digital rights or whatever out of this. Notice the shifter here. The signals on the shifter are pretty smooth. Basically, you click it up for reverse, down for drive, and push it in for park. There's a button on the end here for park. Kind of strange, kind of unique. But it's got multiple detents on this stuff. So it's got, you know, a couple of different stages. Oh, how about the backup camera? I'll just give you a little view of this. It is the best backup camera I have ever seen, with trajectory, with steering lines. I mean, just insane. The resolution on this is top notch. Like, it's not even close to reasonable how nice this is. It's almost offensive how good it is. Like, it doesn't look right. It looks like you're watching a high-def sports game with that kind of quality. I don't think this camera is going to give it justice, but it is impressive. Over here on the display, you can see, since we're in reverse, it is now showing me what distances I have for everything, and that it's very concerned about us. Definitely pretty interesting. We're gonna hop to drive. I'm gonna go for a little ride. Let's go for a little ride. Now, yes, we are officially moving. And now you say, well, where's the noise? Where's the go? Where's the engine? Did it stall? Why are we moving forward? How are we moving forward? It's an impressive little setup here. Guess we'll go out to the right here, since people are needing to come and go everywhere. During the whole drive, this thing will alert you to things being next to you. So if you're near a curb, see it's highlighting to the right of the car. It's kind of an interesting little setup. Yeah, and here we are. So also, this car, not a slouch. This is their slow one, and it's fast. It definitely does not suffer any sort of speed problems at all. It's an absolute little blast to drive. Lots of fun. Definitely pretty quick. I think we'll hop on the highway here a little and give you a little tour of the Autopilot so you can see exactly how that goes. It's definitely surprisingly good. The only things that I've found so far with the Autopilot, now remember that's auto steering, auto throttle, auto braking. The only thing I've really found with it is if you're taking a left-hand turn on a highway and there's an off-ramp to the right in that turn, it has a tendency to search for that outer line on the road and try and kill you. Notice all these gas guzzlers making all that there noise. Definitely pretty entertaining. I do have a pickup truck right here. If only there was a way to get by them. So you'll notice on the display down here, it actually starts showing me lanes on the road. That's kind of an impressive thing. That's what it's doing. That's the cameras, that's the sensors of it. And we're coming to a stop. It's very exciting. All right, we gotta get over a couple. I do apologize for my terrible camera setup today. My mount that I plan to put onto the windshield, not the windshield, but the sunroof, well, this car doesn't have a sunroof, so we're a little bit out of luck there. So yeah, you can notice this thing clearly has some lines on the road that it sees, those two black lines there. It's interesting because they'll come and go as it reads the pavement, and it basically tries to follow them. That's what it uses the cameras to determine. It does tell you the active speed limit of the area, and it does that so by looking at the signs themselves and interpreting them. That's pretty impressive to me. So we're gonna hop onto another highway here that's gonna be a little smoother with a little less construction. We'll give you a demo of this here Autopilot. So alright, so here we are. Notice it does still have it. It shows that I'm kind of running on the line, and it's a big area, and up in Texas, everything's bigger in Texas. But I'm gonna go ahead and get over here. Alright, we got our speed currently set to 70. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this lower stalk back twice, and it's going to light it up, both the steering wheel and the speed. Notice it's set to 70. If I click that thing downward, it'll drop us 5 miles an hour. And now it's steering. This is the car steering itself. I'm doing nothing at all. I've got my feet and my hands off the wheel. Obviously, I'm holding a camera with one, and here's my thumb up here. Yeah, we're not doing anything. She's just doing it herself. It sees the lanes. Notice they're highlighted now in blue because that's what tells you it has it under control. It sees both of those lines. The steering wheel in the upper right tells you that autopilot is on. The left side is the automatic braking and throttle. So that speed will automatically change as you're going along and catch up to traffic. It's definitely a very slick system. I'm impressed by it, of just how well it does. You can see here comes a turn that we're going to be doing. It's going to go off a little bit to the right here, and it will do it by itself. Did you see it? Did you watch it? I mean, it is smooth as butter for the most part. It definitely wiggles around a little bit occasionally. It kind of does a little recorrection. One of the other things I've found that it really dislikes is if you're in a construction zone and there are old lines on the road still that are kind of that gray area, kind of, you know, Road Warrior, Mad Max kind of thing, where you just kind of have to assume that that lane is proper, judging by the Jersey barriers or whatever. It does not like those, and it will start to follow those, which really gets old quick, because it seems like you're just suddenly now driving into other traffic, and you just don't need that in your life. Everybody wants a little bit smoother action. Again, so we kicked it down 5 miles an hour by clicking it down. We can do the same thing by clicking it up. It's got two different detents on it. That if you click it the full way, to the end of the stalk, it does that. I'm going to click it down just a little and see what it does. Yeah, so if you just do it a little, it'll take it mile by mile. If you click it up or down the full detent, it'll do more. It'll do the 5 miles an hour steps, which is cool. So we're doing 68 in a 70 mile an hour zone. Very handy, very exciting. Let's see, what else? Traffic, it definitely sees other cars on the road. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on here. You should see the car on the left side of my car as they go by. It definitely knows the difference between a tractor trailer and a car. So you'll see here momentarily as we catch up to this here tractor trailer that it will show the difference of that. It also knows the difference of a bicycle. We've seen a bicycle before, which is kind of impressive. I'm going to turn this up to 1 so it gets nice and close to it. So 1 car length away from this tractor trailer. And again, now she's doing all the control. I'm not doing a thing. I'm just sitting here enjoying my time. I could be reading a book, but I don't think I'd want to do that. I'm not that kind of brave. The owner of this car tells me he does use his laptop while he is riding in it, which sounds to me very brave, and I told him that he will be on the news. So yeah, you can see on this thing, you see the tractor trailer on the display just ahead of me. We'll turn this, let's turn this thing up so it's got 3 car lengths behind this truck. So now it should decelerate and let us back off that guy a bit. It actually may not decelerate, it might only be on acceleration. Like if he starts pulling away from us, it might then pick up once he gets to that thing, gets to that distance or something. I'm not exactly sure. It does work though. I definitely can confirm that distance makes me feel much better as it's further back. But again, you give it 2 or 3 car lengths, and then all of a sudden people are cutting in on you, which does definitely get a little bit old. But notice we're doing 59 miles an hour in with my speed set to 68 out of the maximum of 70 miles per hour, and it is just fine. Would you like to see some cows? How about some cows? We are in Texas. There's some cows, so now that's proof. We got some cows. There's steers and queers down here, and I'll tell you what, we got both of them right here without the queers. Just telling you, just saying. So that's autopilot. Now how about this? How about we do a lane change? I'm going to turn on my left blinker, and that's it. It waited for that car to pass, and now it just changed lanes. Turn off my blinker, and I'm set. Now it's back up to 68. Let's see, so what else? So let's go back to the right lane here. Turn on my right blinker. When it's clear from that tractor trailer, she moves on over. And centers the lane here. Turn off my blinker, and off we go. So, that's autopilot. Occasionally, this will tell me, hey, hands on the wheel, dummy, hands on the wheel. It'll start barking to make sure that you haven't fallen asleep and are going to ride to your doom. Because I think this thing would generally drive you until you ran out of, well, juice and just stopped. So basically, occasionally, it will ask you to put your hands on the wheel, and all that does is let it feel that there's some resistance on what it's trying to do, more resistance than what it should, that it knows, that it's got calculated in its systems. And it's definitely, like, as you hold this wheel, I can feel that it's resisting. All I have to do is yank this wheel just a little bit, and it will turn off the auto steer. I can also push the stalk forward, and it will cancel both the auto steer and the auto throttle braking kind of stuff as well. Just push it forward and it's off. You can still tap the brake just like normal cruise control. It will stop it that way too. But this way you don't actually have to well, tap your brake and look like that idiot. Alright, I think we're gonna go ahead and take this next exit just for joy. yeah, like I said, this car is very impressive for performance wise. Like it doesn't suffer much. It's pretty damn fast for being the lowest model that they make. I'm surprised by how fast it is, how strong it is. I was kind of concerned about that. And again, so this is the Tesla Model S 60. So the 60 is the lowest battery you could buy today. It's a 2016 with Autopilot and that leather interior added. That's it. All right, yeah, so we're gonna take this one. I canceled the cruise and all that. Ding ding, very helpful. Been on over here. And again, the movement of that map is looking fantastic over there. Just happy as can be. Wicked nice. It zooms in depending on your speed. You know, it's live with everything, so definitely pretty impressive. Oh, by the way, auto braking. It doesn't really auto brake, but it has a lot of pull. If you let off the throttle in this car, that was one of the things that was very surprising to me. When you let out of the throttle, it will actually pull the vehicle down to slow it down, kind of like you're in a manual transmission car, because it's regenerating power. It's pretty impressive. And it comes down pretty quick. I'll show you here as we take this thing, because we're gonna have to come to a next left here to get back on this highway. But when I let off the gas, it pulls down. Like, I didn't touch the brake to do that. Like, it did all that. And it just goes to a slow roll at that point. It slows my roll. So we go back on the highway. So, yeah, like I said, this thing's got some power. She's not a slouch in any way, shape, or form. Is it clear? Does it look clear? We look clear. Everything looks happy. I'll show you a little mile per hour here. Yeah, needless to say, not a slouch. The amount of power that does is insane. I mean, it really punches you in the seat like the old V8s used to do in the 70s, 60s, 50s. Like, it's instant. There's no lag for it at all. It just suddenly goes. It is definitely impressive, and it's definitely something I would not have expected for this car, for the base model. This is not the performance model. This is the cheapest one you could buy, the cheapest S you could buy. Just those two options. It's impressive. I gotta say, it's really impressive. Please keep your hands on the wheel at all times. Yeah, I hear what they're saying. I know that's a liability thing. But it sure is weird to just kind of sit back, put your hand on your leg. Obviously, I can't do that with my other hand because I'm holding the camera because of my bad planning. But yeah, Autopilot. Interior qualities are fantastic. It is definitely, you know, the nice leather wrapped steering wheel. The dash is nicely done. The audio system is leaves a little bit to be desired, if I'm honest. I haven't really tinkered with all the audio settings. Maybe it is better, maybe it's not. Maybe it's simply because I've been just streaming audio this whole time. But it's not amazing. But I know that that's an option as well, that you can get a high fidelity, crazy sound system in this as well. Which, you know, again, if I'm going to do it, I might have to, but I'm not sure. All those little bits add up. Next thing you know, you're at $140,000. But yeah, it rides very nice. It handles the bumps and the pavement transitions and speed bumps like crazy. It's got a great long wheelbase, so it rides like a 7 Series BMW or a Mercedes. It's a big car. You can tell it has a presence on the road. It feels good on the road. And again, I'm not steering. I'm not doing a thing. It's just doing it, which to me is still, that's the butter zone of this car. That's the impressive part. I'm going to navigate back to that supercharger here. We'll go charge this puppy up. You guys can see that. So notice how quickly that did it. Like, there it is. We're ready. It also shows down here what the battery percentage is going to be when we get there, which is kind of a cool feature, because you can tell that if you're going to have a problem or not. Oh, there it is. Hold steering wheel, it says, and then it starts lighting up around the console. It's telling me, hey, dummy, you still alive? Are you dead in there? I give it just a little bit of force on the wheel, just wiggle it just a little bit, and it says, oh, okay, you're still there. Our bad, it's cool. You go ahead back to sleep. Sorry for that interruption. But yeah, GPS works fantastic. I love the big map. I love the big view that you get out of it. I love the fact that it's so smooth. The car is pretty quiet. Like I said, there's little wind hiss on this side, and it may just be because of this is a a Texas thing, because we got what you refer to in the business as some hills. Oh wait, no hills, none at all. No hills. There's cows. Cows are the things that they have that stops the tornadoes. So obviously you can see how well that doesn't work. Well, the car is slowing because we've reached somebody behind us. We are now down to 66 miles an hour because we're following this fine gentleman right here. I'm sure they are off to church. It is Sunday morning. Visibility in the car is pretty good. I haven't really suffered looking around to see anything. To have that kind of visibility over the back corner, you can see people in your blind spots. The long A-pillars are a little bit strange because they're so slanted and so sleek for aerodynamics, obviously, that it's a little odd. I can tell you this: the sun visors is pretty obnoxious because of that little bit right there. See that little hole right here? That's freaking retarded. But they did it. I don't know why they did it. There's no need for them to have done it because there's still plenty of room for the rest of the visor to have been there. I guess it's probably a looks thing, but that's not doing it for me. That's not a good reason. But yeah, so there it is. We are still, again, we're at 63 miles an hour because of this guy. I can simply turn on my blinker, move to the other lane, and oh my gosh, he accelerates right back up to speed. I turn off my blinker, we stay in this lane, and here we are. You can go right by this guy. See, is that tractor trailer that we're passing? How cool is that? That to me is one of those cool things. Like, it's differentiating vehicles. Like, it knew what that was. It's just pure chewing satisfaction right there. Okay, back over to that slow lane. It centers itself. Turn off my blinker, and we continue on with life. It's pretty impressive for sure. Turn on some audio. Not music, of course, because music could be bad. You guys can hear its volume of the GPS, the nav. It's the usual Google Street map.
Keep to the left and follow I-35W north towards Oklahoma City.
Notice it'll show you what turn you're taking in that little lower left and what lanes you need to be in. That's the thing that you really actually pay attention to. That's why having that big map zoomed out a bit doesn't matter, because you're still following it properly. Now I'm going to take this back over. Hey, here's a good example. Ready? Oh no, it was fine. All right, well I'm gonna turn her off. I'm gonna turn her off. But again, those are the turns. So it's in a turn where there's an off ramp. It kind of has freaked out a little bit and kind of made me a little uneasy. Not a fan of that. Not a fan at all. But in general, it seems to be working. Again, it's showing me exactly where that supercharger is. Getting to ride on here. I like the thing that is telling me what I'm taking. We're taking the exit from Decatur, just up ahead right here. And it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be swell. I am impressed. I like the car. I like it a lot. I'm still not sure if I could justify this kind of money for the love of it, because you're buying a car from a software company who makes cars.
Then turn right onto West University Drive.
There's a policeman right there. He's got him in a jiffy right there. He's got his hazards on and everything. I'll tell you what. So this isn't an auto manufacturer making some cool new trick software. This is a software company making a car. So they've got some growth. They don't have
469 for Decatur. Take the ramp right, then turn right onto
all right. I know how to get there. We're gonna to shut you up. The difference is that these guys are still struggling with those fit and finish items, like that mirror that just isn't quite ready. It's not quite there. It's not quite perfect. That little rib out there. But they're doing good things with the software. So you're buying this car. You don't buy this car because it's an amazing car per se. You're buying it for what that car that's a good car can do already, and what you hope it can do in the future. And that's, again, what's coming up for regulation and all that kind of thing. I'm gonna go right on down here. Let's go give her a charge, shall we? Go give you guys a view of that. Now, I'm not braking. That's just it doing the engine regeneration or motor regeneration. I just braked at the very end of it. Notice it sees that car in front of me. It's getting closer. It's getting scared. It's saying, "Whoa there, fella. Warning, warning, warning." And it's dinging because it says, "Oh, you're too close." How cool. It definitely knows what's going on. It sees things around it. I dig that about this. I dig the heads-up kind of awareness that it's got of these cars. So as these cars are doing nonsense around me, it knows. So there's a supercharger up here in Denton. A supercharger is what Tesla has for their fleet of people owning a Tesla, that they can go and plug in, charge their cars completely for free. It's really quite an impressive little deal to have that. Notice that was, I'm not touching the brakes. That was just it. All it's braking. You must never have to do brake pads on this car. Like, it is so little use to be pressing the brake. Alright, so this is a 6-port Tesla charging station. Kind of impressive. I dig it. I definitely dig it. Yeah, so it's on the right side. Very exciting. Oh yes, I know. We're very close to everything. I know. Yeah, very excited. Very, very scared. It's all sorts of worked up. Take this out. I'll press the button on the end of the stock here. See, I'll just simply press this and it goes right to park. And it sets a parking brake, so it's got a little electric parking brake. I'm sure that'll go bad at some point because that's what those do. Anyway, let's charge her. The car is parked. It's officially still on, but it's basically done. It leaves this display on, and it'll even leave the radio playing. It's definitely odd. It's odd that it does that to me, but it does it. So, you know, it is what it is. So let's go charge it. Let's plug this puppy in. Again, we'll pull the little handle. Drops the window down just a little bit so your comfort isn't bothered. It's not too bad to get out of. The wet mat is a little bit odd. All right, hopefully this audio is going to work here because we are out in the wind. Back here is the charging port. Can you see it? It's because it's hidden. Ready? And up she comes. Now notice it's blue. Blue means it's ready to be charged. Up here is the little Tesla port. You just kind of pull it off the little thing. It's got a little hook, little hook on the top there that it sits up in, and you take this little thing, point it towards that little hole right there. You just go click. You hear it click, and all of a sudden, now that little light goes green. Can you see the green? I don't know if you can see the green because of the light, but there's green in there. It's green and it's kind of flashy and all that sort of thing. Now at this point, supercharging. 30 minutes remaining to bring it up to what we've set for the height of that charge. And that's it. So it's basically it's ramping up, as you can see right now, the kilowatts and all that. Hop back in here for a minute. I don't know if it would go dim. I don't know if it'll just continue to show me this display or what. It's definitely pretty interesting. So that's it though. It is currently charging, and it's charging 160 miles per hour right now. So in 1 hour's time, it would do, I think the highest I've seen this thing will do is 204 or something like that. 204 miles in 1 hour's time of charging, which is insane. I mean, this thing is some wicked high voltage, wicked cool stuff. And I think at this point I'm gonna just let it sit here for a bit. All right. Oh, there's this small display. That also is showing what's actually going on. So you can set the charge limit. Let me show you that. That's a little odd. So it's got different designs. So if it's your normal daily use or if it's a full trip, they say you shouldn't charge them all the way up because it stresses the batteries out a little bit. So it's definitely pretty strange that it does it. I did not know that beforehand, but it's definitely pretty cool. It's neat that you can actually sit in it while it's charging, though. It's kind of a nice feature. Like when first time I pulled into this station, there was another guy already just sitting here, and he was reading a Kindle or a Nook or something, and just waiting for his car to charge. Kind of interesting. I don't know if he was on a big trip or not. I thought about talking to him, but had my wife with me and really just didn't care enough. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting, unique setup, and I don't hate it. I certainly don't hate it. It's cool. It's got a lot of techie gizmo and gadgetry here, so I like it. Anyway, I think that'll cover most of this. Here's another odd thing that my coworker found. Sitting in these seats, while they're very comfortable for most people, if you're one of those guys that gets a lot of height from their torso, this right here sticking out seems to stab into the bottom of your neck. Because if you're tall in the torso, not just legs, it just sits odd for sure. So keep it in mind if you're a tall guy like me. A little iPhone dock that's not quite high enough to work with my phone in a case. .12-volt socket, very exciting. A couple of USBs right here. I think this just connects over to that. That's my guess. It's probably an additional bazillion dollars. It's cool, very exciting.